Hi guys, back again. Thought might do just like a basic show and tell of old vintage brass and a few wafer padlocks back in the day. Basically, I'm doing it for Pocket Woman. She made a comment, curious as if I could do just a video to just explain what is what in the vintage Lockwoods. I can only relay to you what I know. I mean, I obviously don't know it all, so if I'm wrong in any way, I mean, no doubt, I mean, someone will sort of pull me up on it, but like I said, I can only relay what my experience and what I've come across and used for the time I've been in doing this. So anyway, I thought I'd start with the old wafer, vintage wafers. Then we get onto the brass. This one everyone knows are these, the 225s. This one's it's got genuine key as well. So probably 80s, late 70s maybe, early 90s, really early 90s. After the 90s, they sort of disappeared into oblivion. These were pretty popular back in the day. 70s and 80s on locking up gates and tradies toolboxes and whatever, but we live in a different era now, so these are not acceptable for anything really other than maybe an internal application in the house somewhere, maybe keep the kids out, but you wouldn't go putting this on your main gate or your letterbox. Oh, well, I wouldn't anyway, but yeah, but that's an oldie. It's got the zinc, the factory zinc plate, as opposed to the locksmith form ones, which you guys are pretty familiar with now. The unassembled packs I've sent out on a few occasions. They've got the plastic cover plate, which was never that way back in the day. They're just a modern thing, more so as a collectible or a keepsake. Yeah, so the originals come with that plate is actually zinc, not plastic. Yeah, so that's a 225. They did come in various colours, and they had a finish. I can't. There's a certain name for it. They had a peen finish, which is very slight indentations in the coating. But this has been fairly worn. Actually, I think someone at some stage has got a really fine wire brush onto it and cleaned it up to an inch of its life. But still a nice collectible. Not that I particularly, I wouldn't lose any sleep if I lost it. I'll just keep them just for the sake of it. But yeah, it's a 225. Have a genuine 225 box. This is new old stock. This is probably from the 90s, late 80s maybe. It is brand new. I can tell that straight away by the wafers. They haven't been touched. Because usually the giveaway sign at that first wafer, because that gets the most work when the key goes through. Tends to get worn in the centre of the wafer. Takes a long time to get to the point where the key won't operate, but yeah, that's the giveaway sign. They're brand new, they haven't been touched, so it's definitely genuine. New old stock, but it's probably been sitting in the pack for years and years, and they do deteriorate over time, as this one has on the shackle. And all the chrome platings just come off in certain parts, but yeah, so that's a genuine 225 in a box. So yeah, like anything, I'm like you guys, I'm in the same boat. I don't have access to this type of stuff. I got that from eBay, I think about 8 months ago. Just for the sake it's in the box, but yeah, one day I was going to get rid of these, just give them out, I think. because when you go, you can't take stuff with you. What was the old saying? You never seen a hearse with a tow bar. So anyway, so I'll put on the side as we go through. This one's a 226. These are pretty hard to find. These ones, laminated Lockwood. I know Don's Lock gave, I think it was, Pick Me 77, I think, probably about 12 months ago, I reckon. I saw the video. He gave him one of these brand new old stock in a box. Gee, yeah. He's pretty generous to do that. I mean, yeah. So I think Don gave him a 225 genuine in a box as well. Yeah, but anyway, it would have been a nice keepsake in the box, as you know, from the collecting point of view. Yeah, it's laminated, same wafer lock. You know, 5 wafers, 1 to 4 in cuts. So, but yeah, very hard to find these ones. Well, they are out there, but in people's sheds, in boxes, somewhere in sheds. That yeah, they don't come up that often for sale anyway. Yeah, that's pretty much the wafer locks from that vintage 80s and 70s, 80s and 90s. But I'll go through the brass ones. You're probably all familiar with the 232 brass. This was still, you know, into the mid 90s, late 90s. These were still produced, so, but they're definitely 80s and 90s type vintage. This is a new old stock from that time. So yeah, that's the smallest of the vintage brass. Then you go up to the 234 Lockwood. They come in different, yeah. They don't. The 232 only come in one design, as in one extrusion design, as in shape. But then they start changing. The heavier, the bigger the padlock got in their range, they, you know, changed it around a few times. This is like a 230, yeah, 234 5-pinner. That's probably the late 80s, early 90s, mid 90s, up to the late 90s maybe, before they introduced these type of padlocks. But they come in 5-pin and 6-pin. That's a 5-pin. This is another from the same era, but it's a 6-pin version. As you can tell, it's taller to accommodate that extra pin. So that's the 6-pin and the 5-pin. This is a really early one. It's got the patent number, and it's a totally different extrusion design. This is the early one. This is probably 70s. As you can tell, the different extrusion shape. There's even early ones than these. They usually have the patent number on, but on the back they have, the really early ones have stamped in, lubricate with graphite or something to that effect. So if you find one of those, they're pretty hard to find, so hang on to them. The 245, that's a 5-pinner. This one has been refurbished. Yeah, it's a 5-pinner. The shackle on the 245s was just hardened. That's a way of deciphering a 247 from the 245. But I'll show you shortly. Yeah, so 245 5-pin. This is new old stock. Again, it's been in a box for years and it's starting to deteriorate and the chrome's coming off. But this is a 247 body, but a 245 shackle. I reckon this would have been maybe a special order from Lockwood back in the 90s, or the late 90s. It's got the Lockwood genuine, the BD profile restricted. Yeah, the big bow key. They're the ones I think Funky gets excited about these type of keys. I reckon. Yeah, anyway, yeah. So it's a 247 body with a 245 shackle. Don't know the full story of that, but that's the way it is. This one I haven't got around to assembling. This is the genuine of 247. It needs a bit of work. It's obviously some chain link it over time as I think has probably done that. Yeah, it's probably had a hard life, but it's been cleaned up. That's a 6-pinner, and the 7th hole is actually the retainer for the retainer pin, the brass retainer pin and spring. But this is a genuine 247 shackle. It's a super hard. That's how you can distinguish it. So if I compare that, this is a 247 and that's a 245. So obviously it's higher because of the extra pin and the shackle description. These are pretty much the last of the hard shackles before they come out in boron steel. I'm pretty confident the 247 in that shape, in that extrusion, came out with a boron alloy shackle back in the day from memory. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty confident it did. They were the last of those design padlocks. And again, there is different extrusions with the 245s too. This one's the last of the 245s. Tell by that extrusion. That's the deepest square edge recess. That's the last of that series, I believe. But they did come out in different extrusions, as you can see, different shapes. And again, another different extrusions, you can tell. They do vary in design, but yeah, so that's the probably the story of the old vintage, and that's at that point when they stopped, when they was no longer manufactured, then my interest level petered off to basically nothing. After that point in time, when they started introducing the quick change core and rekey type padlocks, they become sterile, no character. So I've got no interest that's all whatsoever. I mean, in saying that, you're probably saying, well, why do you have these in your collection? I got them because the price was right, and I will down the track give them away. I don't particularly have a interest for them, really. I was restricted, secure PT profile. Okay. Yeah, this one I got this from eBay actually. This was up. Yeah, I'm not a fond of this one. This is probably one of the ones that followed the older brass padlocks before we got into the Acer alloy intrusion. Yeah, these are, I don't particularly, I mean, they're a nice padlock, looking padlock, but you know, not my cup of tea. But yeah, so this one this has come with a box too, but it's got a dead shackle. What I mean by that is there's no spring in the shackle at all. It's like just a dead shackle. It just pops out. I'm assuming it's the way it come, or the guy I bought it from has, I don't know, lost it. I don't know. But I don't think it did come with a spring, otherwise there's no way to retain it. The shackle in there. So, but anyway, I've got a dead shackle for sake of terminology. So yeah, that's a 245/50, 50 mil. Yeah, being the width of it. And most of you guys are familiar with these 234s, which are 45 mil across. Yeah, not my cup of tea, but yeah, like I said, I got them for the price was right, so I got them anyway. So, but I'll like give them out over time. Yeah, it's no big deal with me. Not really fussed with it, but. Yeah, basically that's the story of the vintage, the brass Lockwoods, up until the late 90s, when they started introducing the quick change cores and easy rekey, which makes sense. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, not my cup of tea. yeah, I think someone's got their eye on this one. I'll put it aside. I got it for that reason anyway. But I think a certain person will be interested in it. But anyway, yeah, better 15 minutes. Better shoot off. Before I go, yeah, yeah, funky. This is funky actually. Yeah, I probably found half a dozen or so of these genuine Lockwoods for you. I've got more, but they're new. I'll use them myself. But yeah, this one's put aside for you. I did find some other in that bag I showed the other day in that video. There's a couple of it. That's an old school Lockwood key blank. Tell by the font, the L gives away its age. You can have these if you want, but they're reverse profile. They're LW4Rs, but I don't know if you want them or not. But I've got a LW4R 100 rim. You can have that if you want, and make it channels lock or whatever. Yeah, so also that DA with the FCO DA. This is related to funky only at the moment. I've got the blanks for you, mate. So, and I might throw that in too. I don't want it, bloody thing. Just all I can say is, yeah, you know, I know what your purpose is and what you're trying to do to with the channels lock. So hopefully you make it that bad that you will get the prize at the end. You know what I mean anyway. So anyway, that's enough for now. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later, and goodbye.